Every salt flat in the planet is like a library. The reason why they are so important is because they have the information from the oceans and also the information from the high mountains. This is because when the tectonic plateaus, they move, other islands and mountains are coming up, and part of the oceans get trapped in the middle of the lands. So when they get dry, all the salt rests there in like a desert. In the Americas, we have two big salt deserts, one in the North America, which is where we are in Salt Lake, and the other one in Bolivia, Uyuni. So both of them represents the memory of these two continents, the mother in South America and the father in North America. 12,000 years ago, this place was covered on ice, and the magnetical North Pole was kind of located in these regions. So all the memory of 12,000 years ago were kind of encoded in this territory. When everything changed in the pattern of the trip, I knew either way that I had to be here in this territory, because we needed to align our pattern of information through the dragon with the North Pole. And what we are doing this time is trying to heal this relationship between South and North Pole, the feminine and the masculine, trying to find this balance. Yesterday, when I was going to sleep, I was just leading my mind in blank. And I start to dream about so many things that it's been a long time without dreaming so many things. First of all, about another planet. And in that planet, there were some tall beings like the Syrian people that were like, oh, we have to show him where we have to land and do something specific. They showed me this territory, and they showed me a portal of 4 corners, and they said 4 corners should be honoring the 4 directions of ancestors of each territory, then a 5th one in the center, and crossing from east, west, south, and north, 4 spheres. And I just remember that I had other 4 spheres that I was not supposed to have. We charged these spheres during the eclipse of the North Pole in Egypt with all the information from other levels of consciousness, bringing all of that inside the spheres so they could bring the information through the water. So 4 spheres, and one in the center, which is the one that belongs to this territory. So they said, we will download the information to that one, being held by the rest. So you just have to be there, standing, waiting for the 3 portals in the sun. So when we came here, I knew that the light of the sun was the opening portal for connecting. Usually the sunrise and the sunset are the best moments to do a connection like this, because the energy is pure and calm, and the photons are not moving everywhere, reflecting everywhere, so they are just going straight through the territory, and that's why it's better to do something like this early. So we were here before sunrise, but I have no clue where to go, what to do. Here were this water that was reflecting everything. It was kind of a call to say, you have to be walking in heaven, so you can be in both sides at the same moment. So I start to figure out where I have to go, and this bird comes and shows me exactly where I was supposed to locate myself. So I went straight there, and there was like, in the shape of the cracks of the salt, it was like an eye. So I said, okay, it's right here. I took the other tools that I sometimes use in order to help me open the portals when I am not knowing exactly what to do with my hands, so I use something external. This tool reflects every geometry, the 12 colors of the rainbow, every pattern of the network. So opening the doors between dimensions and concepts. The crystal to align my chakras so I could be connected with everything and aligned in every emotion and everything, so I could be neutral. So it's kind of a tool for that, to be centered. I had these geometries, the main 5 geometries made up with a crystal from Mexico. The geometrical structures helped me to open each one of the portals of the world and the reality, which is the network, and also the main patterns or seeds of all the creation. So whenever they are there, they just multiply all the geometry into whatever is reflecting that shape. So hexahedron, tetrahedron, icosahedron and dodecahedron on each corner, representing each one of the elements to each one of the doors of the territories, and in the center the seed, which is the octahedron. And also I understood that I was supposed to charge with all this information into the crystal, so that's why I put everything inside the water, so they could be charged during the opening of the portal. So when I located everything in where it was supposed to be, someone said, now position yourself in the center. In that moment the sun rises, so I could bring all the power of light, photons inside the portal, so the connection could be faster. When I started to connect and all the energy that was needed for the portal ended, and in that moment I was already connecting with one of those beings that I saw in my dream in another world. He started to talk to me about this main great portal, this main door between 4 continents, which is the portal that Mu people used to use. He told me to ask permission to each one of the ancestors that are in this land, the Native Americans, not only from this continent, but mostly from this area, to ask permission to each one of the directions so they could download the information of what they were supposed to seed here. So when this native spirit said, now position yourself, this is the old North Pole, and use this information from this pole to connect south and north, and acknowledge that in your cells. Tiago came up, and we understood that we were the 2 eyes that we have to be in the opposites, so North Pole, South Pole. So receive the eyes of the dragon. They said, wait for the eyes to shine. And in the clouds there was this eye opening in the middle of all the clouds, and the sun just rises there again, and it was reflected in the water, and you could see like this head of a dragon with the 2 eyes shining, one on the south, the other one in the north, and a light shining in the center, which was the core of the planet. And you could see the rays of the light going like opening to the ground, and in the reflection it was closing down, so it was the octahedron and the magnetical field of the planet. You could see every one of the lines connecting like the magnetical field. So that was the balancing for us to be north and south as one, and not separated. It was like a recalibration of these energies in order for us to balance them in the new position of the new north. And by doing this, we could be opening this new information for moon, sun, north, south, and connecting the network again.
Los ojos del dragón, norte y sur. Los ojos del dragón, norte y sur. Norte y sur.
But this is something that we just will represent for one day, and then the task should be held by many through consciousness. So millions of people should be aware of where is the new north, of how to reestablish the new north within ourselves, outside, and to keep it as it is today in going to the east, so we could balance ourselves into this new time, balance ourselves into this new north, and so opening the gates for a new civilization in balance with the moon, the sun, so all the new data can come from other dimensions into this reality. When I start to connect, everything gets weird. When I was in the shore, this native person tells me walk into the water. It seems sand, but you could sink on it.